Hey, this is Jerry Fetta. Welcome to another weekly wealth walk. I want to share with you what I've been focused on this past week with my wealth building. You won't want to miss this. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back. Jerry Fetta here, CEO and founder of Wealth Dynamics. So each week I do these weekly wealth walks, right? So if you've tuned in before, you know that. If you're brand new, one of my goals with this is not only to spread financial training and create competent people when it comes to finances, but I want to share I'm actually doing the things that I talk about. I'm practicing what I preach, right? And there's so many gurus online that are, telling you one thing and doing something different. Right? Even Warren Buffett tends to do that. He tells other people invest in the S&P 500 index funds, and then he does the exact opposite. He tells people never buy precious metals. It turns out he got rich on them in the late 90s. So I want to make sure okay, if I'm listening to what Jerry Fetta is saying, if I'm following Jerry Fetta, I know that he's actually doing the stuff he talks about. So here's where my mind has been at this past week or two, right? A lot of it's been connected to looking into the future, right? And I just got back from one of my quarterly trips about a month ago. I got to do some goal setting. And so what happens is when you set goals, I want to draw this out on our whiteboard. When you set financial goals, right? So here's you. Now keep in mind, your goals are all in your head, right? This is your illusion. These are your dreams, right? So we have goals here and we put those goals into our minds first. We think them up. And then what happens is we start to reach into the world around us and start creating them, right? So we have a goal. Let's say we want to start investing. So we're like, okay, good. So I'm going to start, setting up some money over here for investing, and it's going to go in the investing box. Why? Because eventually this will lead to investing in real estate, for example, right? And that's part of our goals. And so you'll start to have, the goal out here in the distance. And obviously there's space in between you and the goal. You're not there yet. It's off into the future. But you're going to start going in and working on it. And what's going to happen is you'll have these moments where you go in and start working on it. And you're going to experience, okay, I still have the goal, but maybe a new challenge came up. I need to pull back. I need to reanalyze things. I need to, maybe look at it from a different perspective, or maybe I need to refocus and then go back in again. And so the quarterly trips I do are kind of a version of, okay, let's come up with the goals. Then every 90 days, we're going back and we're looking at the goals again. But during that 90-day period, we're actively working on the goal, right? So like most of your financial goals, it's going to come down to 3 or 4 things. Number one, do I know the things that I need to know in order to achieve my goal? Right? I don't know why my little guy here has one giant pitchfork as a hand, but let's go ahead and match that. But number one, do I know what I need to know to accomplish the goal? Right now, knowledge is interesting because when you have knowledge, you can start to actually be at cause and like be in control of things. So if I'm not achieving my goals, one of the first places I always go back to look at things is, okay, do I actually have the knowledge I need? Because if I don't, I need to get the knowledge. Now, how do I get the knowledge? Training, watching things, listening to things, reading things, right? Training, practicing, right? That's where I get knowledge from. Now, here's the thing about knowledge, and a lot of people don't understand this. Next, I don't want to interrupt you too long. I just want to give you a free offer for my book, The Blueprint to Financial Freedom. If you go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, you can get the book now. I'm going to let you get back to the video. Prior to knowledge, you have awareness. You are not going to learn about things you aren't aware of. You can't gain knowledge on things you aren't aware of. We've all had this experience where we lacked an awareness level on something. We didn't know it existed. We didn't even know it was an option or an opportunity. And so we think we know something, and then all of a sudden our awareness level increases, right? So as you go through this process of learning, doing, etc., you'll start to run into the outer barriers, let's say out here, of how far you can see with your goal. You're going to start bumping into these, and you might actually break through. And when you break through, sometimes you're going to see on the other side, wow, there's other things here I wasn't aware of. Okay, I had that experience when I was a financial advisor. I thought that the whole financial world revolved around being debt-free, having emergency funds, putting money in my 401k, maxing out my Roth IRA, and paying off my house. I was like, that is the magic formula. If you just do that, you're going to do well and you're going to build wealth. Then I bumped into, okay, well, what about passive income? What about real estate? What about like precious metals leasing or becoming my own bank with life insurance? I started to become aware of things I didn't know about. then I had the opportunity to start increasing my knowledge, right? So when I'm going through this, again, we're coming up with the goal, we're going to invest. We start setting money aside. We start exploring investments. We might run into, man, it turns out I don't have enough money for investing yet. Or it turns out, the investments that I thought I wanted to do are different and they're not exactly what I thought. And so I need to take a look at, is that really what I want to invest in? You're going to encounter these barriers that come up. There's always barriers to any game you play. There's always going to be an out of bounds line. There are always going to be rules you can't break. There's always going to be opponents and obstacles and poor conditions and all this other stuff. That's just part of the game, right? But then you pull back, your awareness comes up on, wow, I didn't realize, that's the awareness, I didn't realize blah, and now I do. You immediately need to go into knowledge mode. I need to train and study up on this thing I've become newly aware of, right? Or maybe a new aspect of something that I was aware of, I just didn't see it this way before, okay? I gain the knowledge. When I gain the knowledge, I can then go back out into the field of achieving the goal and working on it again, right? But here's the thing, that is the process of achieving the goal. Go in, bang yourself up a bit, learn some new things, become aware of some new things, pull back out, gain more knowledge, and get ready to go back in and do the same thing. And it's doing that over and over and over and over and over. And so when you're building wealth, the speed at which you can become aware of new things by going towards the goal, reaching in, and then moving into knowledge mode to then learn and gain control and causation over this new barrier you've come into, then to go back in again, the speed at which you can do that, the frequency level you can do that in, is going to represent two things. Number one, the accomplishment of your goal. Number two, your actual level of happiness. You're going to be most happy when you're doing this. You're not happy when you achieve the goal. For me, the most miserable I've ever been was probably immediately after I became financially independent, where I didn't have to trade time for money anymore, because I was like, everything I've just been working towards, I just did. I'm done. Like, I have the trophy, the game is won, I am where I said I wanted to be, and I didn't have another goal, right? Your freedom and happiness is going to be represented by the space between you and your future. Because here's the thing, your goal is your future. So when you have a goal, what does that really mean? You have a future. The brightest people, the most enthusiastic people, why are they enthusiastic? Because they have a good future. They're looking into the future and they like what they see. So if I then pull the future into myself and I achieve the goal and it's no longer the future, it's now the present, guess what? I achieved it, that's awesome, but now I have no future. If I have no future, I'm not going to be excited. I'm not going to be enthusiastic. I'm going to be lethargic. I'm going to be wondering what's my purpose and all these kinds of questions. Anytime I find myself doing that, one of the things I became aware of is I need to check, did I just achieve my goal? Sometimes you don't look, like you forget about it. You get caught up in the daily grind of it all and doing this learning and doing and learning and doing and learning and doing. And you don't look down and like, oh, wow, I achieved the goal. And so that's happened to me twice in recent years where I achieved a major goal, didn't even realize it happened. Then when I looked down, I was like, man, that's awesome. Then I'm kind of like, now what? Right? So when you're looking at this, okay, you're looking at, okay, I need to gain more awareness. I need to gain more knowledge. Hey, what's up? Jerry here. I just wanted to give you another reminder. Grab my book, Blueprint to Financial Freedom. It's going to be one of the best books you have ever read on finance. I can promise you that. You're going to love it. It's also a free offer. So if you go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, you can get that now. The second thing is, I need to increase my income, right? Third thing would be I need to save more. And then fourth would be I need to invest more or differently, right? And we're not going to deep dive on each of these points because I spent some time already talking about these first two. But like when you're doing this thing, you might realize I become aware I don't have enough income to accomplish the thing I said I wanted to accomplish. So I need to now learn how to increase my income so I can then go back into the game, play even harder with this higher income level and accomplish my goal, right? I might go into this and be aware all of a sudden I don't save enough money. Like I can't invest money I didn't save. So if I want to invest more money, I need to save more money. So how do I save more money? Right? So then again, I pull back, I learn how to save more. Then I go back in. This is why with our program, we're so big on training. If you're active, like you're actually making progress on your finances. You are going to run into obstacles. You are going to run into barriers. You are going to run into things that didn't pan out the way you thought they would. Here's a secret of the universe I'm going to give you right now. Absolutes are impossible. You will never achieve the exact thing you want to achieve, the exact way you want to achieve it, exactly when you want to achieve it. It's always going to be some form of different. So that means there's always going to be an obstacle you didn't expect. There's always going to be something you weren't thinking would happen. There's always going to be a new ingredient added that you weren't planning for. So the purpose of training, like we have our members training in Wealth Dynamics University all the time and reading books, because you need to pull back and learn. Then you go back in, re-engaged, reinforced, ready to roll again. If what happens to you is you run into a barrier, I'm going to invest in real estate. Oh, there was more paperwork than I expected. Oh, it costs more than I expected. Oh, the yields aren't as high as I expected. All of these new obstacles and barriers, I'm going to now sit this out on the sideline and focus on the fact that this wasn't what I thought it was going to be and how it's different instead of just going into learning mode. You should expect it's going to be different than you thought it would be, right? Doesn't mean it's not the right thing. You just need to go learn more. But the longer you sit on the sideline, it's like a boxer in a boxing match that gets knocked down. The longer you stay down, the worse off you're going to be, right? You need to get regrouped and then get back in as quickly as you can with the new knowledge that you have. Same thing with the investing. Like I've been in seasons of my life where I was investing one way and I reached in because my goals were there and I'm like, I'm going to go accomplish my goals and I'm working on them. Something comes up with my investments, right? I lose money or whatever it might be. It's not yielding as high anymore. The numbers don't work. And I've got to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, I need to regroup. My awareness is higher. I need to know something more so that I can change my investing strategy, right? So these first two apply to themselves, but they also apply to each of the bottom three here. Awareness and knowledge on income levels, awareness and knowledge on saving, awareness and knowledge on investing, awareness and knowledge on your awareness level. Knowing that you don't know something is the first step to knowing something. Awareness and knowledge on knowing that you know something, you don't know something, or that now you're aware of it, but you don't know fully how it works, that leads to knowledge. So guys, that's what I am focused on this past week with my own wealth building is as I've changed my goals now because I already hit financial independence. I already hit one of my main targets in my business. And so I'm looking at this year and I'm like, okay, where am I going with this? What's my next goal? What's my next future? I've set this up and now I'm experiencing the bumps. I'm experiencing the barriers. I'm experiencing the things that I have to become aware of and start to learn about. Even I have that at my level, right? I've just learned that it's part of the game. It's part of the game. I need to go back. I need to take my new awareness level, which is something to celebrate. Becoming more aware could be said to be one of the main purposes of life. I need to backfill that awareness level with knowledge so I can actually fill it with correct information that I can use, then charge back out and continue after my goals. So guys, I hope this video was helpful today. If it was, comment below. Let me know your thoughts and questions. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Hey, this is Jerry Fetta here. I want to thank you for watching my video, watching my content. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to learn more about the blueprint to financial freedom and how you can achieve passive income that exceeds your savings, your expenses, your taxes, your generosity, and build wealth like the top 1%, I want to encourage you, grab a copy of my book, The Blueprint to Financial Freedom. You can go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, or you can click the link in the description of the video here. The copy is free. You cover your shipping. We'll send the book out to you, and we'll send you an email with a bunch of great bonus material also for free. Get the book, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on my next content.